by the Snake coaching lineup to be able to get more of a team fight comp.
Yeah, now that they're on the blue side, they're going to be able to ban away the Lulu once again. Chagru will see whether they stick to what they were doing before, and it looks like they are.
I'm so sad about the Riven.
I want to see it. I want to see the Fiora.
I don't necessarily agree with a Riven ban from purple side, however. Even against Flandre, not that his Riven wasn't fantastic, but I don't know. I feel like, especially against Snake, you could lane swap it, put it down, open it up. If he's going to take Riven, that's punishable.
But the thing is that I think that QG want to run Gangplank in the top lane.
Yeah.
And there is no way you run Gangplank in the top lane with Riven on the map.
No, I agree with that.
For a one-sided matchup, like, as good as the... Like, let's put it this way. What happened with the Olaf last game isn't as bad as it gets. It gets worse. There is another tier there, and it is Riven tier.
Well, they're not running Gangplank, but naturally they're on purple side. So I like the adjustment.
Yep, going to ban that one away. Chagru probably going to ban the Fiora as their last one. We'll leave Kalista up most likely, unless Snake are going to ban it on the blue side. See whether they get rid of the pick.
This is actually a very long choice here for Snake. Nidalee.
So they stick to the same bans.
What's the priority pick from Snake here? I mean, naturally you would assume it would be Fiora, but are they possibly going to look at the Skarner to priority pick since it didn't hit the bench?
I think
or
it
the Kalista.
has to be Fiora.
I think Fiora Skarner. Which means that Xiaogu will have to second rotate Skarner if it's
I
for their
don't think you can take Kalista right, because I think that what happens if you take Kalista, they just take Fiora Skarner, and then it doesn't even matter that you have a Kalista on your team because she won't be around for very long. But actually, QG banned the Kalista.
Darius Fiora still up and available in terms of top lane champions. Likewise, the Garen 5.16. We've seen it hovered a few times. Was played throughout the regular season on LPL.
Garen was good even before 5.16. Amazing Jay told me so.
I've seen the light.
Oh, God.
But Flandre with the insta-lock.
With the stupid dance, Spawn.
I wish we had caster cam for the dance.
No, you don't. You don't wish that, guys. Don't worry. Fiora is going to be locked in. He continues to dance now as Swift is going to hover the Vayne. Doinby back to the Victor. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. See what they go for.
See whether they go with Vayne as well.
Oh my goodness, it's contagious. Okay.
Garen has the best dance in the game.
Is that what we were doing? I was just dancing to have fun.
He also has a very...
Oh, it is his dance.
It is, yeah. It's Johnny Bravo. Max should be the best at it.
Oh, he's
look
got
like Johnny Bravo.
Hair.
We haven't done it yet, so we'll just see. Swift now hovering the Alistair. It is going to be the Victor locked in. And the Skarner goes unanswered one more time.
So again, not second rotating Skarner just says that these LPL teams aren't prioritizing this champion as highly on 5.16 as a lot of people would have suspected just based off his base stats. And I think this is reflective that there is counterplay to Skarner right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And he's great with Morgana on his team. He's also very bad against Morgana on the enemy team. You know, if there's just that many big, beefy frontliners, it gets to the point where you don't want to actually ult any of them, and if you do it, it's to drag them away from your squishy members. I certainly think that there is a place for Skarner, but I don't think he's unstoppable. And if that gets locked in, and ZZR doesn't play game 3, I'm going to question.
Okay, so Beast is hovering Lee Sin at the
So
moment.
I actually like Beast Lee Sin. That's not my problem with it. It's that I think that ZZR is a better early game jungler. So if you're going to have Beast play early game jungles, why not just play the dude that actually plays the likes of the Echo and the Gragas in a very early game oriented manner and run ZZR on the lineup? And you look confused.
I just disagree with the mentality of Snake right now in their draft phase. Not that Beast can't play Lee Sin. He played it yesterday. He looked mechanically very proficient on the champion, but Lee Sin's impact, especially in the face of so many other high-priority junglers, like you said, even for a team fight, the fact that Gragas is now being hovered means so much more for Snake than Lee Sin does.
Oh, good Lee Sin you're talking about, as I like to refer to Gragas.
It's got disengage,
it's got percentage health damage, a gap closer,
AoE
slow, and an AoE ultimate.
Or how about this one? You got semi-global threat and range. You've got the ability to split push if you'd like. Invade
Both of
vision.
them can't see.
What the?
He just locked in
Elise.
Jax.
Yeah, and the Jax is there. The duelist, of course.
V
I
hasn't
love that
played.
you say Elise. I was like, I wasn't surprised about that.
I was surprised about the Elise. I understand Jax, you know, known as a duelist, always has been. Like, where's the problem?
The thing about Jax into Fiora, however, is that anytime Jax winds up his stun,
You
it's pretty
can't
much
use stun.
Yeah, it's incredibly telegraphed. Fiora's just gonna counter it back and
I never
upgrade the
said
CC.
it was smart.
No,
I just
it's.
said it wasn't,
I
you
would
know.
actually consider it a direct counter. Like Fiora is a direct counter to Jax.
Well, this is how V gets his own back, you know? What he does is he wins the lane with a horrible matchup.
So, you know, the thing about it is that it looks good on paper because you think Fiora auto attack, but actually a lot of her laning phase is through her Q, you know, the poke damage she does. Very hard to get rid of that, harass, and then Jax is going to try and respond, you know, with the counter strike, with the leap strike, the empower W, and then his ultimate auto attack. But all of that is within a really short cooldown where you can just riposte it back if he has a stun even better. I just don't know whether this is going to work. You also build double lifesteal items on Fiora, which means that if you ever go into that like auto attack duel battle with her, she just has so much more health to get back throughout the course of it.
The other thing is that it's V versus Flandre.
Yeah, there's a lot of things pointing towards this not going very well for V.
V's identity and MO is that counter-flanking Maokai Gnar style of top laner to just go toe-to-toe with Flandre with Jax. And again, like Spawn pointed out, you can see kind of the theory and the counterplay there, but I feel like the execution is so one-sided to Flandre that's suicide.
V's playing Alistair in the top lane, that's what I assume. We've got a Jax support.
Oh, well, I actually looked to see whether Victor had been locked in again because I was like, I could see Doinby playing.
Twitch into Braum one more time. It's sort of the Ash syndrome here once again, where Proskeren gets very upset and confused.
We keep doing this. Braum is such a high priority champion. Again, my question was earlier, you know, what AD carrier we're going to see come out just because it's so focused on the top laner that you have this assassination potential. And so people are kind of wondering, you know, do you need your hard engage on your AD carry? Are you picking your line damage, your siege potential? 2v2. The Twitch into Braum, not that Braum will stop Twitch's rat-a-tat-tat, but it denies so much damage of his line damage through that. It's questionable to
And
me.
the other thing is that Twitch is allowed to play aggressive in that assassination fashion with a Lulu. All of a sudden, TNT needs to be much more careful with who he is trying to pick off because he doesn't have this huge 640 damage shield, all the extra damage to come through when he is auto-attacking, and he can just prioritize the attack speed and the armor penetration. Now he needs to be like very particular because there's an Ahri and there's a Fiora. So he opens up on one of them, they just turn around and within their rights could probably just kill him.
Yeah, they just turn around and murder him. And the charm, pretty easy to land as well, considering the fact that Twitch, not a lot of mobility. But let's go through the lineups here as Flandre is going to take the Fiora into the Jax that I, at first, assumed would be a really fun matchup. Turns out V not going to have a great time as Beast is heading into the Elise with his Lee Sin, and you, this time, taking the Ahri into the Victor.
In the AD carry position, it's going to be that Kog'Maw versus Twitch, Martin versus TNT, and joining them in support will be Ella versus TCT, Braum versus Alistar.
Yeah, sort of similar champions there. A lot of disengage potential, a lot of engage potential there from both sides. But QG, looks like the draft may not have gone necessarily as well for them this time around, but let's get onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for Game 2 in this best-of-5 series between Snake and Xiaogu. Seems like Xiaogu with some interesting ideas, and we have some confused analysts on the desk.
One thing that both of these teams actually have is a phenomenal follow in the jungle. Lee Sin, Elise clear, quick enough by themselves. Throw a Fiora and a Jax in there. It's going to be even better. And we might have a little bit of butting heads.
Ooh.
Did they sneak in? They did.
Oh, Winter's Bite is actually going to proc here as well. There's the Sonic Wave. Counter-Strike has been taken. The passive's going to wear off.
That's fine. You generally want to take Counter-Strike first anyway, so it doesn't really affect the laning phase. Oh, it's the ruler glows.
Ah, it does. It's my favorite Fiora skin. Is it? Yep. I just like it. The thwack. The thwack sound is
Oh, that's what you like about it?
That's what I like about it. Thwack, thwack. I think it's all about the attack sounds. That's why V would be playing SKT skin. You can smack people with a trophy. Yeah.
I like the Shen one.
Yes. That's a very good one.
SKT Shen?
Yeah.
Because it's got
No.
TPA.
TPA.
That's my favorite unit in the whole game.
Yeah.
It's a very good one.
Do you have, it looks like a possible initiated lane swap is Martin is confused about whether he's going to commit. Okay, he's going to go to the bottom lane. So they feel that since they were spotted out placing the deep wards, that he's trying to dodge. Although I don't necessarily think he would need to dodge Twitch versus Alistar. But
And this is really weird because they're freezing the top lane for Flandre.
yeah, Braum grabbing the wave.
This is bonkers, and you can see that now Martin hasn't gone to lane at all. He's checking the red buff. Get him, Martin. He wants the little one. He wants the little one to deny the 2, doesn't get it. Now he's going to die.
There's the Cocoon. Fell is going to get Swift right on top of him.
Got the red buff.
Yeah, it's going to slow him down here, but Swift can't find the
So
last
Swift
cocoon.
didn't have Q, so that's why he couldn't gap close sufficiently to be able to get on top of him, but sends him back at this stage of the game, and that's just as good.
Yep. That's massive. You miss so much experience, so much gold, so much time wasted on this Kog'Maw as he finally waddles himself towards that top lane. So wasn't trying to dodge, is trying to find TCT on that Twitch, which makes sense because Twitch has a pretty atrocious lane phase.
Flandre has a blue buff.
I'm going to say that was a deliberate choice because Lee Sin doesn't really need it, so because you're going to split experience on the first 2 waves regardless, first 2 camps regardless, you may as well give the blue buff over to someone that can actually use it in a laning phase.
And it's really important because it's helping the CDR on the riposte, so she's able to use it to counteract the stun. So you saw the stun go down. It's because Fiora is level 2, not level 3 yet. So we'll see how this lane dynamic changes when she has all those abilities available to her, as well as the CDR from the blue buff.
I'm convinced that Fiora is the best top laner in the game right now, so I'm interested to see Flandre play it.
Oh, you can hear it. Swacking him with that ruler. Hasn't actually found many weak spots yet. Under V. Of course, pretty good one as well, you know. Oh, what the heck?
Here comes Swift.
Yep, he's looking for a cocoon now. Oh, could have riposted it. Decides instead just to lunge away.
There is no way you riposte that.
Why not?
Because you're standing in the middle of the lane without a riposte.
No, that's probably a good point.
He'll just jump on you, stun you,
Then the Jax jumps on you.
But it looks cool, man.
take all your health.
Yeah, don't you understand?
You've got a massive creep wave pushed into you.
I understood the theory quite well, which is why I pointed out.
Yeah, cool. Well, some
It's
of
because
us
we
still-
play together a lot, and I don't want to see that.
Spawn's afraid for his solo queue right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, TNT taking some damage here from Martin, who's managed to push the wave all the way back, evened out the farm as well, but TNT with a lot of creeps to pick up under this tower, if you can.
Everything pretty calm right now. Again, making sure that you get the matchup against the Twitch Alistar. Braum doesn't have the best lane phase, levels 2 through 5, but against Alistar he should be fine. The one thing that TACT will bring to the lane is to that Triumphant Roar and the small amount of sustain that it'll give him.
Yeah, and Alistar's kind of that flexible bottom laner at the moment because you can max out the Triumphant Roar. Most supports do prefer to go with the Q-Max just to get the multiple
CDR.
poles out in teamfights through the CDR, but there's nothing wrong with chucking a couple of extra points early game, making sure that you have a very healthy Surat
And it really
take over.
It speaks to the mentality going into this lane, like you said. The fact that he took Triumphant Roar at level 2 as opposed to having the head pulverized combo, they know that this is just going to be a slow slugfest. Let the wave crash in, focus on your CS, look for that Blade of the Rune King power spike for Twitch and start unlocking from there.
And see what other lane you can get into. Can you get mid lane, supplement some of the burst damage out of Victor and, you know, try and win a little bit of a fight there. Or if they're just going to stay in the bottom lane. Shoving into Kog'Maw is actually not a bad way to deal with him because he has quite long range with the W up and is a very good harassing AD carry at the least. So being able to get the lane underneath his turret means that Martin has to choose to farm over harassing out the Twitch.
Although we do have a very early roam. We'll see if this is actually a dive onto the mid-tier tower.
I have a sneaking suspicion that it might be.
Yeah, especially because Swift prepping his spider form, so came out into human form so he can throw the cocoon, then immediately go into spider form as opposed to wait on that cooldown. JK? No, he's still there.
Yep, he is. Beast is waiting around as well. He's like, don't worry, I got you for the counter gank, man.
Braum also on the back end of it. He's going to show himself. That might be just as dangerous, Beast.
Oops, Sonic Wave actually doesn't find anyone as there's the flash. The Cocoon comes down. Beast just explodes in the middle of this fight. TNT grabs the first blood as Swift has to be careful, but the repel is going to dodge the aggro, and QG looked almost too easy at that point. Ella finds his way around. TNT is forced out of the fight as Doinby. They're dirty farming in the mid lane. TCT now in a bit of trouble as Gravity Field's going to lock down Ella. Orb of Deception doesn't find anyone as you completely out of mana now.
That was a very intelligent manipulation of Fog of War from Xiaogu right there to make that dive connect. Snake had a sneaking suspicion, you know, Beast through the Q, but stepping forward out of the brush, standing just around the corner, they knew that either the jungler's going to walk into us or we're getting a dive.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing I will question, however, is if 4 people are missing and they're all in the brush, even if you hit the Q, all it gives you is that split wow.
Yep, TCT looking for the headbutt. There's the Cocoon. He's still holding on to it. Will knock the little Void Puppy back in. The repel's going to be there for Swift. Probably won't die to the Acathian surprise. It's TNT not even going to fall as well. Oh, actually, Beast finds his way in. Ella's here as well. The ambush goes off. And the Tempest Cripple didn't even find the mark as Ella just walks on top of him. Beast just going to smack him in the head with his foot.
Unfortunately, didn't have enough points into ambush to get him safely down into the river and to freedom there, but cute little maneuver.
It was very cute.
And better than that, he got both the kills, you know, so right now Twitch very accelerated in this game. Should be able to get a very early Blade of the Ruined King, start looking to roam around the map, get out of the Kog'Maw lane, and Kog'Maw's gone for the sustain build. We've been seeing this a little bit more. I think Deft used it yesterday, but no Sheen means a much weaker laning phase for Kog'Maw.
And I think it's in a direct response to the fact that we have these top laners and these mid laners who are becoming assassins and dive threats. Hey, look at that. Jackson.
Yeah, Flandre using that guaranteed crit to do a lot of damage.
Once again, Swift has just been everywhere on the map. Beast trying to counter gank to the best of his ability, but he's a blue buff right now, and Flandre needs to be careful.
Not going to find him as the riposte even went down. They used it that time.
Yeah, because Jax was nowhere near him.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
again,
I learned that. That was good.
Quickly touching to the Blade of the Ruined King rush from Kog'Maw, the fact that he doesn't have a lot of built-in protection for himself, he pretty much has Braum, but otherwise there's a lot of dive potential on the rest of his team. It's guaranteeing him that safety and that ability to kite back against the likes of Elise, the likes of Alistar, and the likes of Jax. So more about the movement speed. We saw, I believe Deft yesterday went Bork into Phantom Dancer.
The other thing is it also is it's a safer laning phase in the way that Trinity Force is designed to kill, harass people out. Bork designed to help you sustain,
and
guarantee farm, things like that. So I can understand where it's coming from. I just really like Trinity Force Kog'Maw. It's actually one of my favorite adaptions because you never used to go, you do things like Mitred's Blood Razor, all kinds of crazy things, and then it really brought Kog'Maw back into the meta when people started picking up that item.
I think Beast might have been spotted out by that crew.
No pings down as of yet from Xiaogu, but
They walk up to CS, you know that he has. They've held the wave. Should actually be a relatively easy. So right there, if Beast wanted to start this fight, he should have just queued the creep, flashed over, and then... Yeah. So that's not going to work. So what you do is you queue the creep instead, and then the creep line walks past the Twitch, and then you just immediately get the insect. So a little bit of hesitation there. You could see that the AD carry had walked away. Swift now for the counter gang, so everything going to return to normal.
Likewise, there's a lot of counterplay on Alistar against Lee Sin in particular if he times his Pulverize correctly on Lee Sin's Q.
I don't think he should have been in the lane at all, but if he was there, he should have gone earlier.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Decent point. Ward swept out there. QG not going to allow any other potential Lee Sin hop wards in the middle of the lane.
This lane should naturally win from the Kog'Maw Braum. You should be sending your jungle pressure to other parts of the map, trying to get the Fiora further ahead, you know, trying to help out your assassin in the mid lane. Lee Sin Ares has always been one of the most deadly jungle mid lane matchups, just because whenever you land the charm, there's so much follow-up damage and mobility to chase people down. Instead, going towards what is a Cutlass Kog'Maw lane, not much that you can do there against the Alistair.
And both these teams took very similar compositions in terms of how they work. The fact that, again, Snake are looking for kind of a win lane, win game mentality. And Xiaogu, I mean, they had Gangplank last time in the top lane, but another carry top laner, another control mage, tanky jungle.
Once again losing the trade there, but the counter-strike comes in. There's the riposte as Beast finds his way back. Flandre looks for the ultimate now as the kick comes in. There's the Q. Beast is going to secure it. No, he doesn't. Almost suicides underneath the tower now.
And left Flandre to die.
He's going to die. What are you doing, Beast? Going on, man. Chaos Storm is going to land. Beast trying to get some damage back, but he was never getting out of there. Some brain fading going on this time around. Death Ray finds the mark as you.
Doinby pretty bloodthirsty, probably going to
die.
die.
Damage flashes out of the gravity field as Yu's just going to head straight into Swift. And that's going to be dangerous game, keeping Doinby alive.
And just outplay after outplay right now. Xiaogu are completely dismantling the Snake lineup. Beast kicks away the person on very low health. Flandre picks up a return kill with the help of Ella.
As well as his teleport cooldown.
Yeah. So the problem with that was that Jax was the target that they wanted to keep the ultimate on so they could get the big healing reset and continue the fight. So if anything, he should have burnt the flash at the start, kicked him back towards the minion wave, got the ultimate down for the continued fight. Instead, he kicked him underneath his own turret, didn't have the damage to be able to execute him, and then burnt a flash over the wall to just walk into an awaiting Doinby. Once again, you can understand like what he's going for there. He wants to execute in a stylish getaway, but at best, that's a 1-for-1 trade because you've completely sacked your top laner. And at worst, as you saw there, everyone just dies.
Yeah. Definitely didn't see that going quite that badly there for the Snake in the bottom lane.
On the other side of the fence, though, hats off to Swift. 1-0-4 war.
Yeah. Just actually headbutting him away from the Death Ray. Lands the charm, though, here as Beast finds his way, and the ultimate's down from TCT. They disengage on the side of Snake as there's a decent Glacial Fissure. Ella has to be very careful. Charm lands onto V, the flash forward from TCT, gets a headbutt pulverized. Martin's going to lock down the kill, though, and Snake's still able to walk out.
But Snake are actually going to get ahead here because Flandre in the bottom side is going to pick up the tower. So support for support, but Snake get the objective.
And that's much better use of the composition. Keeping vision on with the Lee Sin, kiting back through the Braum. All the rotations of spells coming out of Braum and the Ahri means that they guarantee a 1-for-1 trade in what probably shouldn't have been in that situation. So Snake definitely feeling the pressure you have to feel in this situation. And Swift, once again, returning to the mid lane.
Just spidering his way in.
And he's been an absolute monster
this whole series.
in these sets. So very nicely done.
Should be noted that Flandre didn't pull the trigger and take the tower. Instead, he chose to pick up some extra CS on that, so about 18 over his lane opponent. That said a wave was pushed into V. Got a stiff breeze from going down.
Yeah, most certainly is. I want to say that I really like it from Doinby. The 5.16 patch sort of for Victor means that the first two evolutions of your hex score aren't quite as powerful, but the perfect hex score is about the same. So going for that one straight away sort of removes that from being a bit of a problem.
It's also generally that if you're going to farm out your lane, you go for perfect hex score because there's just no risk to doing it. Then you can pick up all this cooldown reduction and be fight ready very early in the game. It's a little bit of a later spike, but it lets you lane very efficiently. So we'll see whether he's able to continue this.
And against Yu, it makes so much sense. Again, Yu has been playing back-to-back assassins so far in the set, starting with the Fizz, now picking up the Ahri. Not that he can't play these champions, but his MO, his identity as a player, has always been a control mage. And the thing about Yu, he'll farm out the lane, but even if he has an advantage, he'll never look for the 1v1 kill. We saw the outplay from Doinby, but that's still fairly uncharacteristic. Yu is a passive laner. He'll sit back, he'll farm, he'll look for the team fight. So Doinby making the correct call there that if I'm facing across from you, it's just going to be Farm City. And I'm going to come out on top because I'm Victor.
Yeah, he certainly has so far. Up by about 35 CS there with 3-0-1 on his scoreline. Now has a Morellonomicon. Fiendish Codex was just transformed into that item, so pretty big spikes for the Victor. But Snake looks like they might be able to grab this dragon against the tide.
That was just really good timing and back set from Snake, so they understand that the swap through was initiated by them, so a little bit earlier, able to pick up a free objective for themselves. They're actually waiting to see who appears in what lane before Flandre starts pushing out. Wants to make sure that he continues the pressure on V. As soon as he sees Twitch, we'll be able to go in.
Yep, and Cinderhawk Glacial Shroud completed now for Swift, so no interesting Rune Glaives to come in this time.
And this is the thing about Elite, you know, with a lot of junglers, you want to be able to snowball your early game into tank stats and vision for your team, so it makes team fighting easy. You don't really need to be able to get these huge ganks going because you get that through pure levels, you know, the base stats that you will be able to have. And Flandre continuing the hurt up here. That turret also about to go down.
Yeah, going Q after Q. Ella going to find his way in here as the Caustic Spittle not going to find TCT.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it looks like a 2v2.
This is level disadvantages, item disadvantages, just about everything you could point out.
Oh, TCT actually unloading with the ultimate here as well as Flandre is going to take down V in the top lane. Meanwhile, here in the river, though, TCT blows the ultimate. Turret falls down as well. There's Fiora beginning to be a problem.
Doesn't get the Lee Syndrome. Beast holds off on re-mashing the Q button, and it will be a successful disengage. But Flandre, this is a problem with Fiora. We said she's going to be the split-pushing threat. She is a one-man wrecking crew. He just destroys turrets with the empowered auto attacks that will come out of his kit. And he's just not going to be able to stop by the Jax.
And again, the theory of the Jax versus the Fiora matchup, like Spawn said, the fact that Fiora is really going to whittle you down through her ability usage on the Q and just poking you as opposed to elongated trades against his dodge. And he can't offer any return CC just because she'll be able to counter and reflect it back.
So I've got the analogy. Jax was great when Aurelia used to max W, right?
Yep.
Because He-10 style, very prolonged trades. People used to go fade first, they're going in.
Yep, looking for it there. Winter's Bite is going to find TNT as Flandre hits the Q, but he'd been ambushed. Yeah, not going to get him there as Ella is able to get across, forces the flash out from TNT.
I see you, though. The E-Max.
Yeah, so what the mix-up from Aurelia players was, right, was we're not going to go Phage, we're not going to max W, we're going to max E. And every single time we go in for a trade, we're going to have a Sheen, we're going to have maximum E, we're going to auto-attack you once, take off like 400 damage in a trade, and then just walk away from you. And your elongated trades mean absolutely nothing. And that's exactly, like, you look at Fiora and you think, what the heck?
Round two.
V looking to try and get his way in there. Martin, he's just going to face tank the Jax, almost unnecessarily there. And QG, 2 swift kills. Looked easy as you like.
So this is what happened here, although Doinby has found Ella now.
Yep, the exhaust comes down, cleansed out of there from Doinby. Chaos Storm just going to keep whittling him down and gets another Q, takes down the support.
In response, you will take the mid-tier tower, so not an awful trade, but effectively round one, Snake go in, they burn the teleport.
This was actually top lane, so you see the riposte onto V, then the ultimate just comes out, and that's what we said, Counter-Strike useless in this matchup. It is the E-Max Aurelia, not the W-Max Aurelia.
It certainly is. We're going to see it one more time now, as Flandre is just going to take down. Oh, V gets it back!
But that was so close. That was like a half health Flandre versus a full health V, and Flandre still nearly won.
Jesus. Still gets the turret as well. Inner turret in the top lane falls down, so Flandre will trade his life for that one, but making the Jax any bigger is a scary prospect.
Making the Jax any bigger. Look at this Fiora. Likewise, Fiora's going to bring so much more team synergy if everyone's clumped up together, if she's able to drop her ultimate, and there's a lot of squishy targets available for that, including this Jax, which shouldn't happen.
So you're saying bottom lane was just, oh,
okay,
why do I even bother trying
There's
to analyze?
I gave up on that.
Have a look down in the bottom lane. There we are. Martin trying to auto attack, gets him back. Okay.
So this was something that I'm trying to think of where it originated. I want to say it was Korea, where Twitch would be countered by Cogmore. The reason you have True Sight on your ultimate, and you would go Blade, and what would happen is that they would walk into you and you would both blade each other, but you do more damage in a one-on-one situation. Twitch, great AoE hyperscaling AD carry. Cogmore, great single target hyperscaling AD carry with the attack speed on the E.
And if you lose the trade, you just kill him with your passive.
Well, he goes invisible again, and you kind of guess, but
He's got that speed. But hold on, again,
Good point. Oh, Cocoon is going to land here as Beast. Is going to kick TCT back into his team with his ultimate running. Not exactly the best move, but they are going to be able to lock down the kill.
TCT was legitimately walking in that direction, Beast. You didn't need to kick him. But they get another kill. And it will be Snake biting back.
Oh my
so
goodness.
He just wants, I feel like
weird.
Beast locks in Lee Sin just to be flashy.
Yeah. That's why we all lock in Lee Sin, isn't it? I don't know why you lock in Lee Sin.
I don't play Lee Sin.
Well, I do.
You just don't want to be flashy.
I play Ashe.
Looks like Doinby had a little bit of a scuffle with Flandre in the mid lane there. Did go back to base, however.
So the win condition for Snake right now is entirely on the back of this Fiora, effectively. They've got a great pick composition between Ahri and Beast obviously more than willing to throw his insect on whoever crosses his path, but they have to use Flandre more responsibly this time around.
You can see Flandre, who's in the mid lane, he sees two members, he tries to get out of dodge because he recognizes that himself.
Well, B, Counter-Strike goes down.
This is the dragon that they're fighting over right now.
And this is the time when Xiaogu really start to bite back in their games. Again, this 15 to 20 minute window, second or third dragon, depending on how early the first one was taken.
Whip tagged by a charm. Flandre says, I just want to keep farming stuff, guys. Don't
Ooh,
worry
he
about
got
fighting.
Doinby.
Yeah, Beast ain't going in. Charm's not going to land. You doesn't have a blue buff. Will start to run out of mana at some point.
Snake have superior posturing on the mid lane as well as on the dragon, which is why Xiaogu having to commit to the wave that was pushed up means that they lose position on this dragon.
But it still doesn't fall down very quickly, so they will be able to reset the fight.
Oh, QG actually pick up the dragon aggro. Happy to continue there as Flandre hanging around, does have a lot of life steal.
Dragon's had enough.
Flandre just going to take a few more auto attacks here as it's actually held on to its health bar. Flandre actually going to queue his way over the wall. That's a longer cooldown at the moment.
And
You're
now
going
he's
to take some time to get back in.
completely separated from his team.
Yeah, he's looking for his assassination target right now. They go in.
Yeah, looking for it. Beast is able to lock down the dragon. Swift takes so much damage as the rest of Snake. They're locked in the pit. The flash out from Ella. He just wants to get himself to safety. Everyone escapes. Blow all of the summoner spells. Doesn't matter. Grab the dragon. They'll get out. Okay.
Yeah, exactly right. And you can see, meanwhile, in the top lane, huge wave forming up there. So this will start denying creeps away. Flandre burning teleport. They want Baron.
Okay.
They see that Beast is on the bottom. You see the blue ping there because they have so many deep vision
They're
on
100% going for Baron. What the heck?
blue side jungle. It's because when they set up their triangle vision to secure dragon, they see
Oh,
Swift.
they're looking for the pick is what they're looking for as Doinby has to be very careful. They take down Beast and Yu's going to get stunned, but Ella locks down the kill in the end. Doinby still had the ultimate surrounding him there, but Flandre just unable to close the distance.
This is fine, even though Beast got picked here, as long as they don't lose any more members.
Okay, Flandre's just going to get cocooned and killed, most likely, as he gets back in there. The Glacial Fissure goes down. TNT in a lot of trouble. Flandre locks down the kill. There's the V coming through for massive damage on the back line. He gets stunned up. Ella still trying to do some work as the Living Artillery comes in. Doinby opting out of the rest of the fight. And this is messy.
Doinby just saved that fight for Snake right there. Fantastic use of choke points, again, setting down the gravitational field in that little entrance and then hitting so many members with his laser.
Yeah, it was also a really good flash out of TNT to make sure he didn't get caught up in the Glacial Fissure. It meant that Flandre had to burn his flash just to secure the kill on the Twitch, and it wasn't available when V repositioned on top of him. So overall, QG, once again, these scrappy fights, this is where they're strong. And their mid laner right now, 602, 70 CS up, is doing a fantastic job of controlling the map.
And he's now got even more control in his back pocket with that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, not to mention some extra health as well. I have a feeling that Flandre has a lot to do with that purchase.
This is actually something that we've seen a lot more out of Victors as a whole, is the fact that they're going for the continual damage. They want to chain abilities together. He's got 40% cooldown as well as a 40% slow, which means that his Q is just devastating in any form of 1v1 duel.
Well, Swift is going to lock down the blue buff. Wanders in and steals it. Easy peasy.
Then collapses is another good manage onto the top side of the map, and it's a freestanding tower for Xiaogu.
And they need to be careful here because Xiaogu actually have a fantastic Baron team with the Jax, with the Elise. So as soon as they see Flandre bottom, they can theoretically posture around that area, but looks like they will not. And Flandre going to be able to take another turret for his trouble.
This is really dangerous for me.
Flandre even able to get a little bit of damage back there as...
Look at the confidence.
So V can't use Counter-Strike is what it is. Because as soon as he does, Flandre just takes the turret. So instead he has to just auto-attack out the creeps and cannot fight Flandre without reinforcements.
Those reinforcements are here. It's TNT, TCT heading towards that bottom side. Rest of Snake around the mid lane. A couple more inner turrets available for this team. 4-3 as far as that scoreline is concerned.
And once again, it's in the mid game and it looks like Snake just have no idea what they want to be setting up for on the map. They've tried 2 teleport plays, one of which was for a Baron and ended up losing them a team fight, one of which was in the bottom lane. And then V just did it better the second time around. And now they're rotating him into the bottom lane. Do we want to split push with our Fiora? No, we want a team fight. Now he's grouped back up. It just looks like QG a little bit better at securing the objectives.
And we talked about this kind of in the space between the games, that Snake tend to fumble their mid-game shot calling. I feel like this is an issue where they're very reliant on the lane phase to create structure and direction for them.
Well, Beast is going to get caught out. There's the exhaust as well, but he's over the wall. Will be okay for now as V, he's looking to try and lock down the Lee Sin. Doinby, though, left all on his own. No Zhonya's this time. And he'll fall to Flandre's damage to the slow from the winner's bite. There's a Glacial Fissure forcing the flash out of Swift. The rest of QG able to get out for now. Beast is still sort of, I don't know, meandering around the jungle, but I think he'll be okay too.
But it's fine because we get into these late game scenarios, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, where it comes down to a single team fight. And yes, they kind of flounder around in terms of direction of where they want to prioritize objectives, but it just comes down to a fight.
Oh my goodness, this damage is massive. Flandre still trying to get the work done, gets back round. Beast comes in, secures the kill, and they'll stand in the healing to pick that one up, but that was very close, and V, I believe, would have had the 1v1.
Yeah, but once again, Flandre misses a riposte on the stun. It's just about whoever blinks first in this situation right now, and Flandre is the one that makes another tiny misstep, and you're right, it would have been his demise as Swift.
Oh, there's the flash forward, but doesn't land the winner's bite. Beast finds his way in. That Pulverize did not do too much.
And Ari just ignited him. Snake looked really sloppy in tiny executions. Like, that was a 20 to 30 health pool Elise coming off the back end of a repel, and an auto attack probably would have done it. And Ignite is burnt to secure a kill, which was pretty much guaranteed at that point. They knew she didn't have flash. She used it to dodge out of the Winter's Bite. Everyone was there. We all saw it.
Just do your buttons, man.
Apparently.
You had a button to do.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it speaks to why Snake have been playing from the back foot for pretty much the majority of the series, save for their really clean executed first 10 minutes of game number 1. See if they can pull it back again. If you come into a 30-35 minute mark where it's just a single team fight, Xiaogu are incredibly good at 5v5ing. They got the advantage last time around, but Snake are just as proficient if they get their ducks in a row.
That's a very good point. But he has managed to grab himself the 2-item power spike as well, which is why he was so potent in the last 1v1. Later the run Team 24 is there, but now an extra BF sword for Flandre. If he heads towards an Essence Reaver, I'm going to be very, very happy. 30% cooldown reduction in that build as well.
Yeah, he certainly will, because then with the Spirit Visage, which is the general item of choice, able to get even more self-healing in there, caps you out at the 40%.
Yep.
And this is a one build that I actually really like it in.
Well, I need to record this.
Did you have it yesterday?
All right, cool.
I went in depth.
Excellent, excellent. Talk about Essence Reaver being good is my favorite thing in the world. QG are going to start off the Dragon.
TNT looking for a sneaky way into the fight.
Yeah, Beast finding his way, but not going to get anything out of it there as the ultimate's been popped from TCT. He was looking for an engage. Beast putting himself in front now. Winter's Bite comes around. Flandre uses the Q. He's not going to find it.
BG grab the Dragon on that because TCT made a little bit of a mistake where he walked into his team with the Lee Sin Q on him, and Beast had Flash, so generally you're able to time your Pulverize as he comes in with Flash. You can cancel the Q animation at any time. Make sure that you guarantee yourself that insect kick back into your team.
There is the Scrying Hold, making sure that Snake's trap is sprung. Flandre looking to try and protect some wards. He's going to do so here.
And we talked about Snake's superior side wave control come late game, and it's a big boon and success for them. Look at this map right now. They have pressure points in every single lane, and Xiaogu have to back off this Baron because they need to reset their map.
Flandre taking up a lot of this Baron.
So they need a little bit more armor on Flandre. The idea behind Fiora and Baron is because she goes those double lifesteal items, that she can pretty much start it forever if she has something like a Randuin's Omen and just guarantee that she has full health when the fight does start. Really good at these protracted Baron baits that we are seeing at the moment. Jax also does something very similar with Baron, where he's just able to wail on it with his mixed damage and come out ahead in the fight. So both teams should be able to, if they get any vision control over the Baron area, continually bait it out and guarantee a team fight within the next couple of minutes.
Moment, Martin heading back to base. We'll see what he decides to pick up. It's been a while since he was sitting with his Trinity Force Blade of the Ruined King. Grabs a pickaxe. And Essence Reaver has been completed now for Flandre.
Yeah, so the reason that Essence Reaver is good is that it's a little bit less gold. It's the same amount of AD. I think it's a little bit less lifesteal, but it gives you that cooldown reduction. What that means is that, as I said, if you go Spirit Visage as your last item, you don't have to take any runes, you don't have to take any of the mastery points, and you guarantee that 40% cooldown reduction build. And it's so important to Fiora because of how her Q works. If you tag someone, goes down to like a 2-3 second cooldown where you're able to repetitively chase them over terrain and just make their life hell. So that's why I like it. Just opens up the flexibility of being able to go for that. A little bit less defensive, but still has all of the offensive punch that you're looking for.
Also make sure you don't run out of mana. It's pretty handy.
Wow, I'm really glad the microphone actually caught the head desk there.
What?
That was actually a magical moment. Thank you, Alice.
Oh, don't be. Takes an order of deception there. So I'm still baffled. Thought that was a really good point. Don't worry about it.
You shouldn't run out of mana late game with anyone.
Kidding, I do it all the time. You can just use your Q over and over in the middle of a free play.
Yep, that's the answer right there.
Damn
Using
right.
mana on creeps.
Damn right.
Here we go, though. Flandre, again, is still so far ahead. Now, he is finally down in CS, but with this 3-item power spike, with the theory and the counterplay that PR opens up against Jax, he's able to continue to bully out V and just siege out and steal small objectives and power points for Snake around the map. Now, 5 towers to 3 in favor of Snake.
Ella's heading back, trying to recharge that side stone now. Hate the fact that Martin actually picked up a pickaxe, because I'm scared it's going to be a Last Whisper.
It is going to be a Last Whisper.
Don't Last Whisper on Cog.
Well, he's actually facing across from a lot of armor, so normally I agree with you that it should be a 3rd-item Phantom Dancer if you want to actually output the most damage possible from Kog'Maw, just because of how it'll synergize with his W armor shred and the attack speed. But against 2 Frozen Mallets, or not Frozen Mallets, excuse me, Ward Mails, it's not an awful choice.
And the other thing is that you have to look at how Kog'Maw trades and how long these team fights are going for. And, you know, ideally he has his W up, these max range, and it's a lot of mixed damage and attack speed's good. No Swift gets caught out.
And uses the repel, actually going to try and
big.
get out one more
TNT.
auto attack will stun him up. Yeah, TCT finding his way in. Ella's going to get locked up. The teleport coming in. TNT's been tagged. Beast wants to find his way back in, but there's the rat-a-tat-tat, and you has to use the ultimate to escape. Martin going to flash over the wall, use the heal, use everything.
Flandre's
cancelled.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if his teleport was cancelled, if he just didn't have it.
No, he cancelled it himself. So he was going into that ward right there that was going to put him in the middle of the team, but they need to fight now.
Oh, Sonic Wave has landed, but Beast gets caught in the gravity field. Baron secured now for QG as the rest of Snake trying to run away. So many low health bars. Martin sacrifices himself for the good of the colony. And V is just going to wreck everyone. Flandre tries to land the riposte, but Pulverize pretty good. It's a double kill for the Jax.
And a single team fight opens this game up for Xiaogu. And again, they look so devastating, so uncontrolled. And individually, Snake are making these outplays, especially on the back of Flandre. But against the 5v5 and the full core of Xiaogu, they're just falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, and it's just Doinby time and time again, arriving at the right stage of the fight, putting out all of this damage. 8-1-3, 60 CS up. He's just been a monster the entirety of the game, and Yu hasn't been able to match the amount of damage.
Yeah, make that series as well. I mean, Doinby, when he gets the victor, always able to make things happen. And it was last game, a game where, you know, things weren't going great. He was getting killed over and over again on that by the Fizz in the mid lane. But Doinby was just able to get himself into the right positions to pick up follow-up kills from sort of over dives from Flandre. And overexcited Snake members.
And it's
Got them back
also-
into that game and he's doing the same here, except he was never behind.
Doinby's confidence to pick up Victor so early in rotation. Again, across from you, you're not terribly afraid that you're going to be assassinated even when he picks up the likes of Fizz and Ari, but just speaks to Doinby's flexibility and power as a player to open up that drafting option for Xiaogu.
Certainly does. GG, knock down their second dragon, evening that score up. It's only 5,000 gold the lead at the moment. Xiaogu. But they're well and truly in control now, looking to try and pressure down some turrets and possibly break the base.
Definitely do have the tools to do it right now. You can see Jax starting to get pretty big.
A better drafted composition again. The fact that you have fantastic siege, wave clear, dive potential, hyperscaling ability.
Hyperscaling from both the AD and the top positions as well. V is going to do more and more and more as things go on.
Oh.
Beast tries to find his way back in there. The riposte is actually going to lock down Doinby as well, so that's going to be the first pick TNT. He's been exhausted. The ultimate's on him, though. Flandre gets stunned up. He's going to be taken out. It's 2 kills swiftly off the back of that for QG, and they turn around. That Pulverize was god tier. TCT has been massive this series, and Martin and Yu, they have to run away, but they're not going to be able to. The Counter-Strike locks down Yu, and look at these auto attacks from the Jax, who just dies. And Yu's going to make it to his fountain.
So really nice kiting back out of you, but TCT right there was just able to disrupt so much of the team fight. As Swift also going to be able to escape, so they do break the base, but maybe to not the extent they were expecting off the back of that Baron buff.
But that's best case scenario for Snake. The fact that they picked out Doinby and he died before the Chaos Storm even went off.
Yeah, it was a pretty good scenario, but once again, Lee Sin, 1 kick, 1 team fight victory, 1 game, 1. Done.
One and done.
So many ones in different meanings.
So let's take another look at it. Doinby gets kicked up, gets the chain CC, and then they overcommit onto Twitch. You know, Martin's stunned up. He's a hyper carry at this point of the game. They should be hitting B and just seeing whether they can chunk through the front line with superior members. Instead, they all dive, and TCT just comes up absolutely massive time and time again. Good job out of Martin and you to be able to cut back there.
An exquisite charm from you as well onto TNT in the middle of that fight. Right, Snake haven't lost inhibitors just yet. Martin's pushing that one back out. It's a Banshee's Veil and the Randuin's Omen now for V, though. This guy's getting tanky and doing a heck of a lot of damage.
And one thing I'm going to point out is I actually think that Flandre should have altered Doinby. Because where Doinby had it died, Martin could have sat on top of it and got a lot of healing out, and that would have given them the luxury to hit the front line. From that stage, QG would have been in full retreat. Instead, he used it on the Twitch. It amplifies your damage a lot, but the second part of that big AoE heal just didn't do anything for the team because Twitch wasn't able to be chunked out, and it meant that that sustained fight wasn't going to go in Snake's favor.
I think this is an overarching problem of Snake's target priority has been incredibly questionable come into the LPL playoffs and into the regional qualifiers, especially against the likes of Xiaogu. Like, they're both 5v5 teams, but I think that's where you draw the line.
TCT being caught out, has to use the ultimate.
They're trying to find him. There it is. Yu almost gets caught by that cocoon, but doesn't. The Chaos Storm comes in, uses all of the the Spirit Rushes. Can't quite get out there as Ella's going to sacrifice himself for the sins of the Fox Lady. QG just going to brute force their way in, take the inhibitor.
So once again, you think you've caught an Alistair. He has the ultimate. It's just way too hard to chunk him out. In that rotation, you have to burn everything. Doinby unrelenting with these slows.
He's going to get caught by the charm there, but Yu gets chunked with that Death Ray.
Doinby is completely destroying Snake right now.
He is. Lasering Q. Oh, there's the last auto attack. Goes golden. Just for fun by the looks of things, as QG now pushing forward to try and end the game. Flandre, the riposte of his life right there as he's trying to do some work, but the exhaust is down V. They actually fall down. He's trying to turn it. The Counter-Strike's there. Flandre falls, and V answers back. TNT. He's got a lot of auto attack damage. They're waiting for a creep wave. Only Ella alive. We've got massive death timers.
And he runs
He's
the
out of the
creep
base.
away.
I'm done.
So he runs the creeps off the turret. That's actually probably the only thing he could have done in that situation.
Now he can't get over the face gate. That was cute. Oh my goodness.
But no one's going to be up in time anyway, so QG win game 2.
They certainly do. 12,000 gold the lead. Congratulations to QG, 2-0 in this best of 5 series. And Snake, they really need to sit down in a room somewhere and discuss what's going on, because there have been some interesting things happen in these last couple of games.
Free piece of advice, ban Victor.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yu is a fantastic Victor player on top of that. It's such a contested pick between both these mid laners that there's no reason that they should be giving it away for free. And again, the fact that Doinby can early rotate Victor with such confidence, especially against the likes of Q, opens up Xiaogu's draft phase. And back-to-back, I feel like Xiaogu are winning here on the 5.16 patch in terms of pick and ban.
Yeah, completely agree. And you know, one more thing I want to throw out there is the fact that Victor is so impactful with his ultimate up, but Justin is good without it. If you go that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, you saw how many rotations of spells, 40% cooldown reduction, very easy to hit after you've used that transfer power. Uses the ultimate to chase everyone away, then just use the regular kit to murder the rest of the lineup.
And the death ray was doing so much damage. The fact that he was able to use the sort of mini shockwave version of the gravity field as well underneath towers, making sure that he was creating zones of control. And I was frightened for the Twitch because he had no augmentation apart from the Zeke's Harbinger and items that you could potentially pick up. There's no Janna, there's no Black Shield from Morgana, there's no sort of augmentation that you can offer from anyone else on the team. But it didn't matter because TNT was almost an afterthought.
It didn't matter because he didn't have to do anything.
Exactly.
Like, apart from that one fight in the bottom lane where he went pretty well, I would love to see the damage dealt graph, because I have a sneaking suspicion that Doinby is like destroyed everyone.
Yep, out of control, massive damage. So the Victor probably going to be a consideration here for both sides next game, but Snake might need to think about maybe switching up this ban phase. I mean, the Nidalee, does that necessarily need to be banned on this patch?
But this isn't Snake. Like, I understand the Nidalee ban, and I agree the fact that they are getting outplayed in the jungle in particular, the Beast versus Swift matchup, not just in the champion pool, but just in Beast decision-making. But Yu needs to play control mages. That's his identity.
Well, let's see if he can, but we are going to throw it out for some further analysis into the War Room.
Thank you so much. And another great set from Xiaogu. Right now, they're up 2-0 right now. Things are looking good for them.
They really are, and again, it's the same sort of story. Lots of strong team fighting for Xiaogu and Snake. They're picking winning lanes for Flandre, or at least trying to. They're trying to give him isolated positions, but they're just not doing anything particularly decisive around the map.
Yeah, they certainly aren't. We've actually got a replay ready for you. It's still pretty late into the game by the time we get this first one up, but as you could tell, it was a pretty even early and mid-game.
Yeah, so just to set things up a bit here, it's super late into this game because apart from a lot of skirmishes and a bunch of picks and some outplays, there just really wasn't any big team fights. But you can see again, Xiaogu, they've got themselves a slim lead, but they're being decisive back around the Baron pit. So we'll roll this one out. Xiaogu, Baron's already dead. Snake just don't have vision. Beast very late puts a ward down, gets jumped on, taken out completely. And then Doinby's going to keep chasing him. He's got a Rylai's at this point. He's a massive 3-item Victor. And there's just not a whole lot going on here. You can see Kog'Maw does die. There's a good pick off there, but they'll just chase them down. It's the team composition and the way QG play around objectives. Not even a big team fight that time. All they needed to do was just set up for an objective and win the fight that was coming straight for them.
Yeah, Xiaogu, again, the team fighting team, winning team fights. It's what we expected from them. And Snake, I mean, they said it during the broadcast. It looked like Snake were floundering.
They were, and it's weird because they're actually usually much better at moving around the map, especially early game, but it's just not been there execution-wise for Snake yet.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't. We've got another replay ready for you. It's a little bit later on at this point, as you can tell, 6 minutes later, but Xiaogu, again, they're in the lead.
Yeah, this is effectively the last team fight of the game. You can see the gold lead's grown out from that Baron. Finally, a tangible big lead here for Xiaogu. And Snake do a decent job trying to hold this up, but we'll roll the replay and see what happens. You can see Doinby does get tagged. He gets charmed up as well. A bunch of CC ends up locking him down, and Beast jumps straight into the back to try and take out Swift. The fight continues. Snake get aggressive, but Flandre, he's just not tanky enough. He doesn't do enough damage. And Doinby again is firing away in damage. He's already done a lot despite being dead. And now everyone's just going to get chased down. Twitch has got decent range. Swift and V are just happy to tank up anyone. And TCT's Alistar once again plays a big part in starting this off. But you can see Ari's going to get chased down. You just can't get away from V. And it was just too much there.
Yeah, it certainly was. We've actually got the spotlight coming up for you. It's pretty exciting to say the least. Doinby was so instrumental on that Victor.
Yeah, absolutely huge Victor play here coming out from Doinby. And this will be nice. It'll illustrate a lot of the other things we missed before those last big team fights we just looked at. You can see Yu tries to make a play. He gets the Ignite. Great cleanse from Doinby. Puts down the gravity field to create space and lines up the easiest laser because Ari has to go through a narrow corridor.
Yeah, it's really, really chaotic. TNT trying to make some plays happen as V teleports bottom.
Yeah, you can see V. He's trying to get damage done. He does die to TNT. Sorry, Martin dies to TNT because he's caught out from V's teleport. And again, Flandre in top lane. This was actually traded this time around. And as you can see, once more, Flandre trying to set things up. He gets the ulti down, but Doinby, he just does too much damage.
Yeah, so strong with that late game victor. And despite the fact that he goes low time and time again, I still think he ended up with an enormously positive KDA when it was all said and done.
And we saw this last game as well from Doinby. He was playing against Fizz. He was playing against another assassin-style champion in the top lane from Flandre. And he just had Zhonya's. He would use it perfectly, delay all their all-in potential, and then V would just, QG would just re-engage around him. V again, frontlining like Jax. We haven't seen this champion in a while, but he just did so much work when it came to sponging.
Yeah, some serious great work out of V with that victor as well. And really, it's just Xiaogu coming together. Here's where they stole the Baron, or secured the Baron, I should say. And again, it's just chasing Snake down.
And this is the power of Victor with perfect hex core, with a Rylai's, with maybe even the Fury enchant as well. I forgot to check. He can just stick to people, chase them down, and all of a sudden, a fairly reactive and defensive champion now has offensive options as well. And Victor, we've seen what happens when Victor gets ahead, and it's just murder people.
Yeah, so much damage from the lasers and the Chaos Storms. And the fact that nobody could get to him when there was the Fiora, when there was the fact that you had Ari skirting around the edges. It was relatively high kill game, 28-14. You can see the gold really sort of only took off at the very end. But the MVP from that set,
I think it's Doinby.
Surprised, yeah. It's going to go over to Doinby on that victory.
Certainly is. Had a massive kill contribution. Good amount of kills there, 10-9. Not a shabby KDA at all here. True, an MVP of his team has been playing exceptionally well come playoffs and now again in the regional qualifiers. And we've seen it a couple games now. Just don't give this guy Victor.
Yeah, some serious fast fingers with this set. And here we can see him
That was
once
such a good
again
play.
going for the duel, cleansing to get out of the charm. It was so close.
Yeah, Swift again also showing up on time on Elise. So this is again Ella getting chased down. This is just the power of Victor. This is without Rylai's, but Chaos Storm enough to chase him down. A couple power transfers. And then again, Doinby positioning well, puts down the gravity field. You don't want to fight Victor in chokes. You don't want to run at him usually. And time again, Doinby capitalized on these situations.
Yeah, just picking people off over and over. Here they're sieging to break the inhibitor. And the moment someone gets just a little bit too close, Doinby destroys them.
And this is the thing. Doinby will happily pick Victor in almost any situation. Doinby's the kind of player that he said, when Victor's available, he's going to pick it. So Snake, I know there are a lot of priority champions. The patch is pretty crazy, but just stop giving him Victor.
Yeah, you really can't afford to have that guy get that champion again and again. We've got one more replay ready for you. And this is the fight that you saw at the very end. Doinby, he's going to catch you out down at the bottom.
Yeah, and again, this is the power of Rylai's Victor. So let's roll it out here and see you. He's already been tagged once. Actually, that might be a visual thing. He's slowed. Now actually slowed. Cleanses off a CC there. Pops his on. He's just for a bit of extra fun. And the rest of his team comes charging forward. Really nice little individual play there. Flandre tries to make things happen here, kiting back. Martin actually does get a kill as TCT's tanking up that tower. But Flandre runs back in. He tries to get onto V. And then Jax turns it around with a counter-strike. Doinby Swift help out. And it's just, again, a very easily won team fight for Xiaogu, who at this point were insanely far ahead.
Yeah, a really solid performance from Xiaogu once again. And, you know, this is what we expected from them. We were looking to see how they would perform to try getting that world spot.
This is very cute from Ella. He actually did a really good job here, trying to delay time in the game, but they're happy to chase him down. They'll finish the ace and then the game. And the crazy thing is, that was what, maybe 41 minutes into the game? Less than 10 minutes, even 7 8 minutes before that, the game is about 1,000 gold between them. So Xiaogu very quickly snowballed this game after that Baron.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can do it once again in game number 3 as we toss it back to our casters.
Thank you very much, Sada, and welcome back onto the caster desk, ladies and